What's going on, guys? Welcome back. NFL commentary for you. Do me a favor, like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, Twitter, Shutdown Safety is my username. Happy New Year, personally, from me to you. If you didn't hear it from me on Twitter, I appreciate you guys making last year one of the best years ever on my channel, and I look forward to this year, being even better. Dallas Cowboys conversation today. You know, the Cowboys will be 152 and 152 in the regular season if they lose today. And one of their key defensive players will not be on the field, and I want to talk about just that. Sean Lee is a great linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, but he's had a problem staying healthy. And I think if you look at these big contracts and you don't actually go in and look at the incentives behind them, you just don't get the full picture. And I understand a lot of people will criticize the ownership of the Dallas Cowboys, and certainly they've made poor decisions in the past, but I think every NFL team has people that are very good at almost strategically writing these contracts to engineer them that if the player continues to fault the same way they have in the past, that they'll make significantly less money. Be easier to cut, be less to pay, in terms of what they'll make continuing on. Almost like a prove-it kind of deal. So Sean Lee was set to make $5 million next season if he played at least 80% of the Cowboys' defensive snaps in this season. As of today, he had played 812 of the 989 snaps, which is 82.1%. However, today, the Cowboys declared Lee inactive with a hamstring injury, which means when the Cowboys go out for their 27th defensive play, which is almost impossible to not have, he will have officially played less than 80% of the season, and he would lose $2 million of his salary. Imagine if you worked at $10 an hour and your boss came to you and said, hey, you know, you didn't make 80% of your hours this year, so next year we're going to cut you back down to $6 an hour. $2 million is a lot, even in the perspective of a $5 million total contract. I mean, if we're talking about a well-to-do job in America, $2 million is still, 5 to 8 years of work. If we're talking about an average job in America, we could be talking 15, 18, maybe 20 years in the workforce. Now, the interesting part of this is it's the business side of the NFL. The doctors don't clear the player. The player doesn't have any recourse. He can't say, no, my hamstring feels fine. I'm going out anyway. I want to make my $2 extra million. He's shut down for the game. Now, in the corruption of anything, I personally feel like it would be very easy to sway a doctor or a team official to manipulate things to where a player can't go on the field. Any given play, a player could be seriously injured, whether they've got a pre-existing injury or not. So if you went to a doctor and said, you're our medical professional, Sean Lee is one of our most valued players, if there's any chance that he would re-injure this hamstring today, we'd like you to declare him inactive so we can shut him down in a meaningless game. Much like they have with Tony Romo, who possibly could come out and play, then you find it very easy for the team to save this amount of money. I would love to know your opinions on it. I appreciate you checking this video out. I'll be back in the week with more content.